Hey everybody, this is Roberta Eastman from Home Buyers Inventory, and we get a lot of people asking us to help them understand about our rent-to-own home program. So that's what we're going to talk about today, and this will give you ideas on any rent-to-own home program that you're looking at. And if it doesn't line up with how we do it, then we would ask you to reach out to us and ask some questions, because we want to make sure whether you end up in one of our homes or not, we want to make sure you have the right information and protection if you're going to do a rent-to-own home with anybody. So make sure you're asking us questions if you're getting involved in this type of a program. This is Home Buyers Q&A number 44. So buying a house is one of the biggest commitments most of us will ever make. And although we don't realize it at the time, that commitment is usually more than a financial one. Often, we invest a lot of our hopes and dreams as well. So when we make the decision to purchase a property, we are truly binding our lives to the brick and mortar of the house. So how do you know that you're making the correct decision to buy? And what happens when you don't have the money to outright buy your dream house? What if you had a bad credit score, or you simply need time to get your finances in order? For many people, they dream of ownership, but they're not quite ready to take the ultimate plunge, so a rent-to-own home program may be the ideal situation. A rent-to-own home program offers you the house you want, and it gives you the time you need to get all of your ducks in a row. If you're curious to know more, then this video is for you. Watch this and share it with someone you know who will benefit from our rent-to-own program. Because if you refer someone to Home Buyers Inventory and they move into one of our rent-to-own homes, you get a referral fee. This is all about renting before owning. Number 1, a traditional home purchase. A traditional home purchase works like these 7 steps. You get mortgage approval. You find your dream home. You make an offer on that house. The offer is accepted or not. If accepted, you put a down payment on the purchase price of the property. The lender will finance the rest. Now, usually you need to bring money to closing, and that means that you're paying fees for the lender to process your loan. There's also points that is for you to decrease your interest rate. And the big thing, especially if you're only putting very little down, is something called private mortgage insurance. And anytime you're not doing a conventional loan with 20% down, then the lender is going to require you to pay private mortgage insurance. Now, that mortgage insurance is not for you. It's for the protection of the bank. And it can range anywhere between $150 to $300 that can be added on to your monthly payment. So if you're having to do 3.5% down or less than 20, then be prepared to pay private mortgage insurance. And how you pay for the house is you pay regular installments over a period of years until the balance, including the interest, is paid in full. Now, compare that to a rent before owning option. For many people, qualifying for a traditional home purchase is not as straightforward as it could be. I personally just went through the experience of trying to do a traditional mortgage, and it was hard. It was very tough, and they had us jumping through all kinds of hoops. But if you're positioned properly and you have your ducks in a row, then a traditional mortgage is possible. As long as you have a good credit score, you've got timely payments, your utilization is okay. But in the case that maybe you're not set up for a traditional and you just need time, there is an impressive alternative. Now, the rent to own is you will have a rent before owning agreement. The agreement works like this. You have an agreed upon rent amount. So you pay an agreed amount for rent for a set period. In addition to having your rental agreement, you have your option to purchase agreement. So you have the option to purchase the property either before or when that lease expires. And you have an option consideration. You have the right, but usually not the obligation, to buy the house. You do pay a one-time non-refundable fee. This is called an option consideration. Typically, it comes in between 5 and 7% of the purchase price of the property. For your purchase price, your agreement will specify the purchase price. This price is determined in advance. Often, that option consideration can be applied to the purchase price. That's what we here do at Home Buyers Inventory. The lease option consideration can be applied to your purchase price if you execute your option. If you don't execute your option, then it becomes non-refundable. Maintenance of the property. Your contract will specify that you are responsible for routine maintenance and repairs. In all of this, rent before owning allows you to get your foothold in the market without having a mortgage in place at the time. Let's take a look at some of the other benefits. Number 3, you have a place to call home. For many of us, moving into a home is one of the most exciting times in our lives. And once we have our packing and hauling sorted out, the process really does become a breeze. With many traditional renting scenarios, however, people can often end up moving numerous times. And if you have a family, constantly uprooting your brood can be anything but fun. When you have found the house you want and you're committed to a particular neighborhood, here at Home Buyers Inventory, our rent-to-own home program helps you to stay in that neighborhood. You put down your roots and you have a place to call home. Number 4, you're building equity. Many people who don't qualify for a home loan, they find themselves in the position of renting a property they don't even like. And worse than that, that rental property is taking up a mammoth portion of their paycheck. Beyond this situation, many renters often find themselves in a tricky spot. Sure, they want to save for a home, but the cost of the rent can make things very, very difficult. When you opt for our rent-to-own home program, you know you can become the owner of the home. It makes a difference in your mentality, and again, the things that you're doing to the home to make it your own, it's going to become yours. If you've tried to live in a place you don't like, you don't have a good value in the home for what you're paying for rent, and you have to constantly spend money and keep moving, not to mention the stress on your family, you'll fully appreciate what a win-win situation having the opportunity to rent to own a home is. And if you have issues with your credit score, a rent-to-own home program affords you the opportunity to rebuild that credit score over time. Number 5, purchase price certainty. In today's volatile housing market, having an agreed-upon purchase price ahead of time can provide you with some much-needed certainty and peace of mind. When you sign a rent-to-own home program agreement, you and the seller will agree on the home price. Options here include today's market value, a set purchase price. Because you are also building up your financial means, this certainly can make a monumental difference to your financial planning. So, on a rent-to-own home program, you have to ask yourself, is it right for you? So there you have it. Consider yourself well-versed on the concept of our rent-to-own home program. It allows you to live in the house while working towards buying it. It provides you with a sense of security while speaking to your need for certainty. And it might just be the perfect option for you. If you have more questions on how the program works, we at Home Buyers Inventory are happy to help answer your questions. Always remember our hashtag, MoveInWithHBI. We will be with you all throughout the process, from paperwork up to you becoming the owner of your dream home. So visit us at www.homebuyersinventory.com if you have any questions at all about a rent-to-own program. And while you're at our site, get the free winter heating checklist. Whether you're renting or whether you're buying, you always want to be saving as much money as you can on your winter heating. So visit us at www.homebuyersinventory.com.